And that's the way we're kicking off Send It Sunday this week. That was Bartek on a wave camp over in Prasnisi. Yes, Rhodes. A few little waves coming in. And if you've ever been to Prasnisi, it's like a little peninsula thing. And on one side, there's kind of the wave beach, the onshore beach, and the other side's flat water. That's the flat water side, and there's waves there. I've never seen that. Maybe that's a normal thing. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen that, but that's a classic. So he said he's on this wave camp, 35, 40 knots of wind. And the instructor or the coach said, today is the day for forward loops. He went out, proceeded to show off a forward loop and then said, right, guys, get on with it. And that was Bartek's second ever attempt. I actually really like it. I think the approach and everything looks really good. It's almost that he doesn't commit to the rotation and then it comes back, you know, the other way and pulls him forwards. But actually, at the beginning, I thought, oh, this could be pretty decent, and then kind of doesn't commit. But what do you think of that? I think that'll look pretty tasty. A nice direction. Can able to bear off into the wave. Yeah, like it. Forward loops are not easy. Well, for some people, they're not easy. You know, I think the older crew amongst us, I'm going to put myself in there, 44 years old and above, we've kind of grown up being told forward loop, that is for the experts. Only the experts can do that. And you're crazy. You know, you're crazy if you attempt it. And then once you get to 50, I was like, oh, you can't try it at 50. Well, people are breaking the molds, no less than this fella. Yes, Chris Moore has finally done it. He said he's claiming a few now. He said the form isn't good, but that's 40 years of windsurfing being told not to go over the front. He said it's holding him back. He said they're a bit cheesy, but he is happy to know he's going round a few. He's sailing away. It's not been an easy journey. Check the back. That's some bruises. When you get older, you bruise easier. And it is definitely more painful, but the commitment is there. That's what I like, mate. That is what I love, the commitment. He said he's been going pretty good recently, been able to claim a few, apart from when the camera comes out. Yeah, he was blaming Bob from I Want to Be Photographed. Get that little link in there. But he said massive thanks to everyone who's been taking some footage of him. Also got some GoPro footage. Yeah, GoPro footage is from Alex. So he said a massive thanks to that. He's been able to, you know, dissect his forward loops. You can see on some of it, the front arm is very bent. And that's what's making him go a bit more cheesy. He's having to throw his weight forwards and kind of flip it. But that's not a problem. Don't let that put you off, dude, because once you're going round and you get the confidence, then you can adjust your technique. So it's not always the best way to do it is to just get round and then adjust the technique, but it also works. So stick with it. I am definitely loving seeing that. He said it's been 10 years in the making since he sort of first dabbled in a few to actually starting to claim some. So just massive big up, man. That is like a great story. And if you've been 40, you know, if you've been windsurfing 40 years, I'm guessing you're over 50. So, yes, we salute you. And he said the trick for him was to go when it was windier and bigger. And that's kind of crazy, but actually it works because he says when it's smaller, you need much more technique. And I would kind of echo that to a certain extent, unless your technique's really bad. But if you've got more clearance from the water, you have more time to go round. So if your form isn't great and you go in a bit slowly, you get a bit more air time, and that bit of air time is great. I quite like to teach the chop off a bit of swell. So if there's a big bit of swell, you do your forward off the chop so you don't get hit at a funny angle, and then you've got sort of room to drop down into the swell, which I think that is a good way to do it. So there you go. Anyone over 50 learning to forward loop, you legends, you absolute legends. Full senders. Right, talking of full senders, let's give away another O'Neill wetsuit. Yes, our friends at O'Neill giving away another wetsuit this week for one of the body drag submissions that we've had. We did have a couple in this week. I remember one from Carpathos. Check out this, a photo sequence. This is from Ronald. Said he's been going to Carpathos quite a lot, but this year wasn't as windy as normal. So he sent us some pictures from before. So there's a nice sequence of pulling off a pretty solid body drag. And then there's this is probably one of my favourite ones, this one, where it doesn't go quite so well. Yeah, that is a beautiful shot. Freeze frame. Love it. Nice one, Ronald. Thanks for sending him in and supporting the channel with a few beers. Legend. If you want to support the channel, you like what we do and you watch every week for a whole year, you can chip in a little bit of cash, support the channel. Anyway, those are the legends that chipped in some beers this week. You can see there's room for more. Okay, anyway, we're going to give away a wetsuit because if you have chipped in beer money, you will be in a chance to win the O'Neill wetsuit. So, Akim, who actually sent a submission in last week, I think it was, some tasty body drags on there, said he was looking at YouTube and he said, just want to clear something up. I am not a kite surfer, he said, but just check out this. Yeah, look at this. I mean, you cannot help but say fair play. That is actually pretty cool. You know, some of the kite surf moves out there are pretty lame. This is pretty sick. This is like Jesus walking on water. What do you think? Do I dare ask you guys, what do you think of that at home? That's kind of cool. And actually, as I looked at that on YouTube, then this came into my timeline. Yes, now that's a pretty cool move. I mean, it's got nearly 50 million views. I mean, yeah, I think we all know why it's got that many views, but still. And I thought to myself, what is the equivalent in windsurfing? And then I had a thought. I remember this. Yes, this is Michael. He sent in the no pan body drag, and that is why you are getting a wetsuit this week. We want you to cover that thing up, mate. I mean, Hannah Whiteley's one thing, 50 million views. Michael, you ain't going to touch 50 million. So in commiserations to that, I'm sending you an O'Neill wetsuit. So get in touch. I will hook you up with our friends at O'Neill and you'll be getting a brand new O'Neill wetsuit, you lucky bugger, just for getting your pants off. Yes. And don't get any ideas, you lot. I don't want to see any old 50-year-olds going for forwards in the nude. You ain't getting a wetsuit. No. Don't forget, you can send your submissions in. Kooks of the day. I want to see progression videos. What else have we got? We've got the kids. We've got the surf bargains. Anything like that. Send it at Windsurfing.TV. You are the guys that are making the channel happen, like by chipping in your beer money and putting in your submissions. So if you like what we do here, you can definitely help by putting in a bit of content. It definitely helps put the shows together. We've also got to thank the sponsors. Yes, themailingroom.com, still supporting Windsurfing.TV in 2022. Right, so what else have we got? Well, you know what? I think we've got to go to Picture of the Week. And we had, I think, last week, probably one of the best timed pictures. And we've got another one this week. And this one comes all the way from Cape Town, Muizenberg and Zandvlei, to be precise. Just check out this. Yes. Carsten sent this in. This is his mate Russell. And that is just absolute gold. I mean, you couldn't get a better timing than that. That's a full cannonball going in head first. Absolutely beautiful. Said it was like 40, 45 knots gusting over the hill. And Russell caught one of those gusts and it flung him into the 45 knot cannonball. Absolute gold, mate. Absolute gold. Love it. Like I say, if you've got any pictures of the week, send them in. Okay, right. We're going to go on to fishing next. Fishing, Ben? What are you talking about? It's a windsurfing channel. Well, funnily enough, I get sent quite a lot of fishing stories. They do involve windsurfing, foiling, but this week we're going to concentrate on a few. And now the first one, I mean, it's a pretty fishy tale. Just look at the size of this thing. Yeah, this is Leonard. I mean, do you think that's real? Could he have caught that fish? He said it's pretty shallow at his lake at the moment. Flying along, hit something in the water. It fell off, didn't think much of it, sailing around. And in the same spot, within the next sort of half an hour, he sees this massive pike floating around. He's like, could it? Is it? Surely not. What do you reckon at home? Could he have done that? A pike? I don't know. Looks a bit fishy to me. And from that fishy story, we're going up to Lake Neusiedl. And we are going to talk more fishing here. This is Peter. Again, so it's very shallow in the lake at the moment. Quite a lot of fish around. And he was flying along. And this happened. Yeah, Yes, absolutely stacked it. And you're thinking, yeah, but how do we know it's a fish? Is there any evidence? Well, there is no fish. But if you look at that camera angle, it's a pretty good camera angle for fishing. So we slow it down and we look through the footage. Detective Styley, what do we see? Is that a fish? Is that a fish? I think it might be. What is going on? I hope you guys are eating all these fish. They're not going to waste. Well, I'm not sure pike is that good, is it? Don't think so. Anyway, if you've got any fishy stories, let us know here at Windsurfing.TV. Right, next feature, we're going to go to the Young Guns. Lots of still like unused footage from the Young Guns, and I apologise for that. It's just so much to get through every week. But we're gonna feature this young fella this week. Yeah, this is Mark Merkel over in Pozo. He's had a summer over there. I tell you what, this fella's ripping. Yeah, he's got his forwards down. Like, I've seen plenty of forwards from him, even like a little stalled forward. Looks like a really nice style. 13 years old in Pozo doing that, hanging around with all the boys and the girls. He's definitely going to improve. He's even been going for a few back loops. Yeah, good form. I mean, you can see the form is there. He's also got some decent wave rides. His dad's super into it as well. So, you know, filming, coaching, doing whatever. Like it, mate. Like it. Keep up the good work. That's what we want to see. The Young Guns coming through, energizing us old boys. Love it. Absolutely love it. Keep it up. And talking of Young Guns, you do know we've got the Windsurfing World Cup for youths up in Clipmuller this week. I've just seen pictures of all the young rippers up there. They're all accumulating. The forecast looks epic. And I have heard it's a roaming event, so they don't have to stay at one beach, which up in Clipmuller, that is just the dream. Hopefully the main Peelaway event will go back there one year, but good to see the young rippers getting used to the conditions. So going to be following that closely this week. We've had loads of results recently. We just had the IWT. Yeah, IWT over in Namotu, which is in Fiji, which looks like they scored it. Kamiju Ban winning that, which is pretty cool to see. Morgan Nero, Robbie Swift over there, and a few others, obviously. And on the women's side, it was Jane Seaman winning, so good to see her. She rips on that sort of wave. She had a lot of practice over in Nalu. They're over in Peru now. We've got the Silt World Cup in Germany coming up. We've had the racing, the IFCA World Slalom Championships, Geordie Vonk winning that. With Jenna Gibson from the UK taking the women's side. So there has been lots of competitions recently. Unfortunately, not much live stream for me, but hopefully that will change. There is no live stream in Silt, I've been told, so I won't be going to Silt, but we'll be following the action, hopefully. And I think there is a few more Peelaways coming after that. So stay tuned. Yes, right. Where are we going next? Well, I think surely the next feature has to be Surfwagens, ja. Surfwagens, ja. Mr. Surfwagens is back. For sure, man. We couldn't miss out. We're only going to go for a quick one this week. So where are we going to kick off? Well, I think we have to kick off in Western Australia. Now, if you're going to do a road trip around Western Australia back in the early 90s, what make of car would you choose? Well, I think I'd choose this. Yes, a Holden HQ to be precise. And this is Alan Marsh and his mate Steve cruising up the WA coast, Cervantes, Geraldton, all the famous haunts. And just look at that classic car. That's in the Pinnacles. So if you've ever been to WA, there are a few sort of, I don't know, picture moments. They're all in the round middle of nowhere and you drive to them and you go, yeah, is that it? It's just a couple of rocks. But it's kind of cool, man. It's cool for a picture. Memories flooding back to loads of you out there that's ever been to WA. I know you've been to the Pinnacles, but just look at the classic car loaded up to the hill. What's he got on the roof? Well, of course, he's got a strapper. He's an Aussie. Of course he got a strapper. And he's got what else has he got? He's got a Bombora. Yes, a Bombora on the roof as well. And don't forget the one-piece mast. Anyone who's grown up in the early windsurfing days with a one-piece mast, you forget how terrible those things were. Imagine getting on the plane with one. Did people used to do that? I have no clue. Anyway, so there we go. That is the Surfwagen from Australia. And we do have another Surfwagen this week. Who is going to feature? Well, we got to bring it back because we've had a few of these cars before. They are very popular Surfwagen. Do you know what it is? Well, I'm going to show you. It's obviously, the VW Beetle. Yeah, this is Martin's in his VW Beetle. Again, loaded up. He's got the F2 Sunset Race. He's got a Alpha 160 for his buddy. This was a trip back 1995, so early 90s. Said he was just living the dream in the Beetle. He's actually, guess what, recently got back into windsurfing. I tell you what, I'm hearing these stories more and more, and I absolutely love it because everyone is just super stoked with it. And he actually sent me a bit of a windsurfing picture from a little session at his lake. Very gusty, had a dodgy gust, cannonballed straight through the sail. You gotta love windsurfing, don't you? You've gotta love it. Okay, so there we go. That is it for Send It Sunday this week. Stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for all your support. I have got better internet now, so we're going to be doing some more live podcasts. If you've got any ideas who you want to do some live podcasts with, what sort of questions you want to ask. Maybe you want to do some more tuition stuff. Maybe you want stuff like with Geordie Vonk again, or maybe with the shaper stuff like Patrick Detam like we've done before. Let me know in the comments below. But until then, there's only one thing left to say, that no matter where you are in the world, don't forget to send it.